I swear the saga involving Ayesha Curry continues to go from what seems to be bad to worse. Now, I don't have to rehash everything involving her because we've already touched on that. So now I'm going to address something that she said that has become extremely problematic. So she was being interviewed and two different things came up. One, she was talking about how she got a botched boob job after, I believe, the birth of her third child. So this is recent. And she was talking about her botched boob job and how she had to get that fixed. Whatever. Okay. But the second thing that she said was the problematic part. Ayesha Curry literally single-handedly threw black people way under the bus. And I think I know why she did it. So basically, Ayesha Curry is saying that black people have never fully embraced her. That's basically what she says, which we all know is pretty much a lie, because many black people were rooting for the relationship of both her and her husband, Steph Curry, and their family. So for her to sit up there and say something like that was very disingenuous, and it was a blatant, full out lie. And in case y'all didn't know, Ayesha Curry is, as y'all already can tell, is not a full black woman. She is what people would call a mutt or a mulatto. I couldn't even really say that she's completely biracial, because that would mean she'd have to have one full race person as a parent, as a person, and the other parent would have to be full race something else. She comes from a family where both of her parents are mixed themselves. Her mom, I believe, is Japanese and Polish, and her dad is black and something else. I forgot what the other ethnicity is. Came together and they created her. And also, Ayesha Curry is from Canada. She's a Canadian. I realize that a lot of black Canadians have a way different mindset than black Americans, and I've been noticed that for quite some time. Like when it comes to the talks of race and everything like that, their mindset is a whole lot different than ours. Remember, I had to do that video pretty much grilling Daniel Caesar, what was it, last month, for the comments he said, and he's from Canada. So he's no different, and he's pretty much full black. Like, you couldn't say that he's mixed with anything unless it's something that comes from the islands, which a lot of Canadians who are black have lineage that come from the Caribbean. But back to Ayesha Curry. I think that was I know that was very disrespectful of her to say that. And I know why she did, because she felt like her back was against the wall with the whole thing with her at the red table talking what she said. She knows what she said was wrong, but she was expecting a whole lot of people to come to her rescue and have her back. While many people did have her back, many more people were not backing her up. And I have a question to those people who were backing her up and what she was saying. How do you feel now that she said what she said? Because she basically just spit back in your face. And she did the typical thing that a lot of people who are quote unquote of mixed race or biracial or mulatto or a quote unquote mutt would do. If y'all remember, if y'all were on my original channel, I used to always talk about Sage Steele, or as I call her, Mammy Steele. There was this letter that Sage Steele had wrote on her Facebook page. It was a long letter, and it was pretty much her praising her mom, and her mother is white and her dad is black, and I think her dad was in the military. She pretty much wrote this entire letter praising her mom throughout the entire letter, at least on the first half of the letter. In that entire letter that she wrote on Facebook, she only mentioned her dad one time. And the one time that she mentioned her dad, it felt real distant, as if, she kind of slipped that in there because she had to and not because she wanted to. Almost as if she didn't have the best relationship with her father. And what I've noticed is a lot of quote unquote mixed or biracial women in particular always come off at this point where they feel if they've been done wrong, when in most cases they have not, and it's usually something that they brought upon themselves, the only way that they can push back against that is to push back against that black side of them. They will never, ever push back against that white side. Ever. I have yet to see one of them do it. Sage still does it all the time. And now we can see Ayesha Curry is doing the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Tamira Mowry, who is on The Talk, who's married to Adam Housley, that racist, if she got enough pushback that she probably would do the same thing. Push back against the black side of her, or the black community, when it was the black community that pretty much propped up her career. Ayesha Curry, it was black people that were rooting for you and your family. I don't know about Sage Steele. I don't know about her. And I think that singer or dancer, whoever she is, her name is Tinashe. I think they said she had made some comments months ago talking about how she feels that the black community doesn't support her. But when they looked at the demographic of who buys her music, it was mainly black people that were her fan base. And she too is another one who's of mixed heritage. So do y'all see the pattern that's coming here? This is why a lot of people, a lot of black people in particular, do not like to open their arms and extend that hug or that love to people like an Ayesha Curry, or people like a Sage Steele, or people like a Tamira Mowry. It's because of comments like that. It's not the black community's fault that you did what you did. You sat at that table voluntarily, opened up your mouth, and you said what you said. And you said that in front of other black women. And now that you got pushback, which was well deserved, now it's our fault. And it's bad enough too, because then you had people out there not thinking, but actually saying that it's Steph Curry's fault. So you wanted to have all the slinging arrows go in every direction but you. And by the way, Steph Curry, if you really think about it, is more blacker than she is, even though he's light skinned in tone. If you really think about it. But yeah, that was a very messed up thing for Ayesha Curry to come out of her mouth and say what she said. She knows she messed up for that. She knows it. One thing I've said before is that Ayesha Curry needs to stay off of social media. Just take a break from it. Don't post anything. Don't do any interviews. Don't talk to anybody. Just stay off social media for a while. Let the dust settle, because every time she opens up her mouth or she fixes her fingers to tweet something, it has now become something problematic. Ayesha Curry, unfortunately, has entered into a toxic zone. And if she keeps doing this, I don't think she's going to be able to climb her way out of it. It's not going to be that much PR in the world to clear all of this up. But when I read that, I was like, oh, really now, Ayesha? Hold on, you know what? I'm going to pause this right quick so I can actually find the quote so y'all can actually hear what she said. Okay, I found the quote, but let me go back and fix something I said. Her mother is Jamaican and Chinese, and her dad is Polish and African American. So she pulls the black from her mom and her dad's side, but she's also pulling two other ethnicities from them as well. So it's like she's four things wrapped into one, which is basically a mutt. And Ayesha Curry has unfortunately fallen into the tragic mulatto category. But let me go ahead and read what she said. She said, everyone from a place other than Canada, and that's how you identified yourself, not black or white. And I can believe that, because that's how many of them up there are. I identified as Jamaican because that's where my mom came from. In the States, I'm simply black. She also said her daughters have struggled with blackness. They're fair in complexion, and they said I'm not black. Look at my skin. And I said, no, you're a black woman. First off, they're black girls, not black women. They're not a woman until they're 18. She says, you have melanin as part of who you are. Our descendants are from Africa. That's what it means. It's been a journey teaching them that, and that black comes in many different shades. Now, here's the part where she comes in and she pretty much throws us under the bus. She said, my own community needs to embrace everyone better. Sometimes I feel like I'm too black for the white community, but I'm not black enough for my own community. That's a hard thing to carry. That's why my partnership with CoverGirl was special for me, because I felt like I didn't fit the mold. That is the same song and dance that everyone who's like Ayesha Curry likes to do. But what I've noticed is mostly the women that do that. I don't really hear the men say that. You don't hear Colin Kaepernick giving the tragic mulatto tale. You don't hear Shamar Moore giving the tragic mulatto tale. I'm sure somewhere down the line Halle Berry might have done it. I'm not entirely sure. And so many other, I would say, men who many would deem as mixed or biracial have not done that. But every time this narrative comes up, it's always the woman that says that. I don't know what it is. I think I know what it is, but I can't really put it into words at the moment. Maybe y'all can. But the point of the matter is, Ayesha, black people did embrace you. We did. At one point in time. I don't know where it stands at as of right now, because it's pretty tainted. And you have no one else to blame but yourself for that. Not us, not your husband, not anyone else around you. It's just you. It's the fact that she cannot take accountability for her actions. So she has to project and deflect away from what she did by saying, oh, because I'm not embraced, it's our fault. No, it's not. You, like I said, you chose to tell the world that, and now you have to deal with the consequences. Put on your big girl panties and keep it moving. But that's all I really have to say as it pertains to this right here. Y'all let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.